Hey, Joanne Peterson, welcome. What's up, Carol Browning? Hello, finding Vicky. I hope you find Vicky. I hope I find, potentially, Bigfoot Sasquatch. Hey, Doris. All right, guys, here's what's going on. Can everybody hear me? Let's make sure the sound on here is good. Hey, Sherry. Michelle, Mr. Sam 8303. It's warm where you are. That's good. Hello from Finland, Merja. Okay, Sherry, thanks for confirming that you can hear me. Guys, I'm on my way home. I'm on my way back to the homestead, and I had no intentions of doing a live feed today. If you have smartphones, I think you might know about YouTube stories. They make these little, I just did my first one here a little while ago from the Darden School of Business, the graduate business school at the University of Virginia down in Charlottesville. And by the way, get my 6, keep your eyes on this bus behind me and anything that may potentially, hey Britta, hello there in Germany. Mason, you wish you could hear me, but now come on, you're supposed to be paying attention to where you are, Mason, not YouTube. Hey Paula, hey Catitude, hey Chad Tubbs, what's up Chad? I know Chad's got my 6. All right guys, I'm not trying to be rude by ignoring your comments, but I've got a limited amount of time here, maybe 15 or 20 minutes we can stream. So I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing. I'm trying to stay focused here, trying to stay on task. Get my 6 as always. I need you to look and I need you to listen. And you're going to hear a lot of traffic, and I'm going to tell you why. There's a major highway not far from me through the woods. I'm on a public trail, okay? I'm not trespassing on private property. Guys, you've always got to keep these things in mind. People always ask me, what are some of the skills required to be a potential Bigfoot Sasquatch researcher or hunter or tracker or whatever? Number 1, respect other people, respect other people's properties. Never go on private land without permission. I am on public land. I'm on a trail. That school bus that is of interest right now, very particular interest. Where did that bus go? It's back there. I'm sorry, I was trying to read a comment, but somebody wrote a book. I couldn't catch it all. Hey, Kathy, good morning. Good morning, Sniper, who one time something. There's a mathematical formula in his name. Okay, this bus is on private property, so this is as close as I can get. But here's why I'm here. Yards, not far, if that's what you're asking, how many yards away it is. 40. So if anything moves in there, we'll see it or hear it. Or if anything comes to it or leaves it. I'm going to move around a little bit. So I came into town today because there's a mathematical equation that it just came to me last night in a dream. It's an old mathematical equation that I've been aware of for more than a quarter of a century, but I think it might explain why a particular number of people do indeed believe they see, and I believe their statements when they say they see, he, she, it, or they, in our videos. And there's a reason why a lot of people don't, and I got these numbers crunched down. I wasn't sure of the math. I wasn't sure if I was right. So I took my very large Bigfoot Sasquatch size calculator, which you can see in the story I just posted on our channel. Just go to our channel and see. I think you might have to have a smartphone to see these stories. It's relatively new with YouTube, and I am so far behind the times. It's crazy. I know I'm a YouTuber, get a lot of views and stuff, but I don't understand much of it. I just come out in front of a camera and talk. But I'm trying to catch up with some of these millennials who actually know what they're doing. I'm thinking it might help. So I made a story down there at Darden Business School, took my big calculator down there and crunched these numbers. And again, the numbers were right. And it's common sense. It makes sense. And I like to err to the side of common sense in everything I do. But every now and then, I'm thankful that, the most premier business school in the world, Darden, is close by, so I can take my calculator down there and sit on the lawn and do the numbers, in the presence of such greatness. You just don't have to take my word for it. Ask any UVA grad. They'll tell you how great that business school is. So anyway, I was on the way home to go make the video this afternoon, early evening. I want to do it at dusk in my forest where potentially we may or may not have Bigfoot Sasquatch living behind our home. So we can catch a glimpse of he, she, it, or they while I make the video and reveal these numbers. If you've been frustrated, if you've been watching the video saying, why don't I ever see what everybody else says they're seeing? The math will make sense. But if you actively and regularly watch our videos, there is a 50-50 chance you're one of the ones who are seeing he, she, it, or they. Hey, the lunatic from South England. Hello from this lunatic from Virginia. Somebody's from Switzerland. So, hey, Nancy from Hawaii. I bet you don't have snow over there, do you? So anyway, I'm in an area along a pretty major highway that has seen extreme growth in the last 10 to 15 years. I lived here many years ago, then I was gone for about 10 years, spent most of that time in Asia, I was in the Middle East. I came back, and where I am now, on the outskirts of Charlottesville, has just exploded in growth. It's exploded in growth. Hey, David Fraggle. Hey, Stephen Herbert, paranormal investigator in the UK. So anyway, in the last several months, I've had 3 different people allege or say, I mean, they just came out and said that they've seen something in this area that they couldn't explain darting across the road in the dark. Okay, it was in the fall, in the winter. I never heard these reports. I thought I heard something. Watch back there. I've never heard any of these reports in the summer. I do hear cars, but I also heard what sounded like a howl. I'm going to give you a view back here. Different direction now. If there's anything out here large and dark, they should be pretty easy to see because we've still got some snow here in the backdrop. Now those are cars back here. You can see the road right here. Hey, Lisa Girl Lady, definitely seen things in my videos. Thanks for that confirmation. You're going to understand this evening when I make that other video why that is. Okay, so I stopped here on the way home just to take a look around. What's going on here and why I feel people may be seeing things here is because of the rampant urban growth in the area. Anything that lives out here, hello, Mammal in the Woods, hello, Jenny Metz from Louisa, Virginia, neighboring county close by. Hey, we're in Albemarle County, as you know. So the urban growth is just getting crazy. Okay, it's just growing up everywhere. So they're running out of room, just like the deer, the hoxes, the foxes, any wildlife, any creature that lives out here in nature is running out of nature. It's unfortunate. Now, it's not, hey, Kim in Alabama. There are still vast areas around the country and around the world, most areas, as a matter of fact, that are not inhabited by humans, where he, she, it, or they still has a lot of space to hide, but they're getting crowded out. So for the same reason, a lot of folks, loss of habitat, right? Like somebody just said in the comments. You know, I know here in Charlottesville, there's a big problem with deer. I mean, people, it's almost impossible to have a garden in your yard now if you live in city limits in Charlottesville. You know, a lot of you know, hey, from New Hampshire, hunted 1313. Hello from Caddy, Texas, Xavier. Trying to give some shout outs here while I talk. I'm trying to not lose my thoughts entirely. But a lot of you know that a couple of years ago, I was a mailman for 6 months. I would walk through people's yards in neighborhoods. What's up, Jody, in North Carolina? Seen 3 and a dog man down there, and he got the pictures of the dog man. See? Hello, Brian in Melbourne, Florida. Okay, so I would walk past literally herds. Hey, Sue Warrens, good to see you again. Yeah, Sue points out here she saw the deer video. I actually made that video when I was a mailman. I just pulled the phone out, or the camera, whatever I had on me, and recorded deer in people's yards. I would walk by them and they just stare at me while they were laying there chewing their cud like I was stupid. So anyway, if he, she, it, or they does indeed potentially exist, then why, too, wouldn't they be running out of habitat? And why wouldn't sightings in urban areas be more frequent? Is this why? Hey, George up in New Jersey, put out some marbles and food. They love marbles. Okay, George, we'll try that. It only makes sense. So now in time, these creatures may seek deeper cover in deeper forest, in deeper forested areas. But for now, I mean, as they're thrown up, I finally decided to stop because as I was coming across a bridge, I noticed this huge towering housing development that I'd never noticed before. Now, I've been by it several times, and I remember this past summer seeing they had broken ground on it. They'd cleared the ground, but my gosh, they really put stuff up fast around here. This thing had to be 6 or 8 stories high. I don't know if it's going to be condos or another apartment complex or something. They're really increasing urban housing inside city limits here in Charlottesville. Population's exploding, which means, you know, the forests are decreasing. So I thought, you know, this is in the general vicinity where 3 different people over the last few months have told me they have seen strange things running across the road or running alongside this highway in fields. One guy said it was keeping up with traffic. The speed limit over there is 55. So anyway, I think it's kind of ironic that I get out on a trail. You know, there's a mountain bike tracks in this trail. There's running shoe tracks. People obviously use this trail, people who live close by here, for their exercise, outdoor exercise. So I come down the trail and then I find this old abandoned school bus back here. And it just makes me think, I mean, does he, she, it, or they, I mean, are they taking up refuge in old abandoned school buses in the forest, old abandoned houses? You know, a lot of folks along this main highway lost their homes to eminent domain over the course of the last half century. And this forest is scattered with broken down houses that, I mean, they're hidden from the road. Charlottesville's a beautiful area. They're hidden well. You drive through here, you never see them. But if you get out and get in the woods, it's like, wow, look at that. Somebody lived there like a long, long time ago. Thanks, Lisa. It's very kind of what you said there. And so anything's possible. I mean, here's what I think a lot of you long-term subscribers, those of you who are here regularly, those of you who are going to fall into the roughly 10% tonight. I'm going to share the actual numbers with you, and I'm going to share the formula with you that I, again, went down to the Darden Business School at the University of Virginia today, the most premier business school in the world, no matter what the people at Harvard or Yale or any of those, you know, want to be UVA schools claim. Darden is the best. I didn't go there. I used to work with a guy that did. He used to tell me all the time, we were both stockbrokers, and he'd get frustrated every month when my production numbers were always higher than his. He'd say, this doesn't make any sense. I went to Darden. You're just a dumb hillbilly. This doesn't make any sense. Darden is the best business school in the world. I'd listen to him. I sat back and thought, this guy sounds convincing. He's convinced himself. He's convinced me. Darden must be the best business school in the world. I didn't go there. Like he said, I'm a dumb hillbilly. I could have never gotten in. Hey, Shelly. But I went there today with my Bigfoot Sasquatch size calculator and confirmed these numbers on the lawn. You can go back to my channel page and look. See my little, this is my first story ever. They only give you like 10 seconds to talk, which is hard for a guy like me because it takes me 18 minutes and 36 seconds to tell a 3-minute long story about a guy trying to steal my hay for life. So, but I confirmed the numbers. So there's quite a few of you on here who are seeing things, and you're going to understand why when I share these numbers with you with the video we're doing this evening from the homestead when I get back. Okay, Bema says we're buffering. So I'm going to back up and make sure I've got the good connection going on here. And I'm about out of time because I do have somewhere I have to be. So there's that bus. So I know a lot of you folks who watch have mentioned you live in cities. Good morning, Pearl Ninny. Sorry to mispronounce any of these names or user IDs. But a lot of you folks mentioned you live in cities, you live in towns, you'd love to get out here and Look for the Bigfoot Sasquatch. Guys, you don't have to live out in the middle of nowhere. As you can see, I'm not in the middle of nowhere right now. I'm beside a major highway. But I'm in a place that used to be the middle of nowhere. I'm in a place where urban sprawl is decreasing the natural habitat of all wildlife to include potentially Bigfoot Sasquatch. Hey, Adam in England, thank you for recently subscribing. So again, is Bigfoot Sasquatch out here in this old abandoned school bus that I just found in the woods? Potentially. Hey, Shelly Panzer up in Minnesota. Boy, I bet it's cold up there where you are. Stay warm. Thanks, Mark. I'm glad you enjoy the channel. Hey, Gothic Phantom 01 in London, England. Mammal in the woods, walk to the bus. I can't go to the bus because I do believe that bus is on private property. If you're just tuning in, I mentioned one of the big rules to Bigfoot Sasquatch research. I'm on a public trail, but there is a boundary over there which makes that private property. Now, I'm not beyond going up there and knocking on the door and asking if I can go down there and check. But I've done that before, and what I've found is most people are not very receptive when you knock on their door and say, hey, I'm looking for Bigfoot Sasquatch. Do you mind if I walk around in your back property up there so I can get into up to that trail up there that goes across the Blue Ridge a little easier so I don't have to drive all the way around? They kind of look at you like you're nuts. But yeah, Doris is right. Stay off of private property unless you have permission to go and you ask for permission, which I have not. So I can't get off the trail to actually go inspect this bus. But here's another part of this theory why I believe potentially Bigfoot Sasquatch may or may not be in this bus. They notice patterns. They're very observant. Somebody asked in one of our live feeds last week or a few days ago, why would they just lean up beside a tree and just watch and just stare? Because a lot of the folks who have claimed to potentially see the Bigfoot Sasquatches in our videos say that often. They say he's leaning against a tree. They'll see him like bend over, see their heads going back and forth. They observe for a reason. Let's say, watch right here. I see something very large and dark right here. Keep your eyes open right here where my finger is. Watch for movement. Let's say potential Bigfoot Sasquatch is running out of natural territory. So they're looking for places to hide. They come in here to these little private property parcels and they notice mountain bikers go on this trail. Runners and joggers go on this trail. Walkers go on this trail. But no one will cross this creek and go over there where that bus is. Well, wouldn't that give our potential Bigfoot Sasquatch safe haven? Couldn't he, she, it, or they seek refuge in this old abandoned bus in the woods? I think the answer to that is a very obvious yes. Potentially. Right, there's a lunatic, logical thinking. Well, you know, the thing about logic, a lot of folks just don't find it very logical. It's like common sense. The longer I live, the more people I meet, the more I realize common sense just ain't so common these days. 3 people, one of which knew what I did, 2 of which watch our YouTube channel and saw me in town, but all 3 of them claim to have seen something unexplainable in this general area. And I come down here and here's this old abandoned school bus in the woods on private property. I mean, do the math. I don't have to go back down to Darden Business School at the University of Virginia, where some of the world's premier CEOs, bank managers, and life and health insurance sales guys got their master's degrees. To point that out, that's common sense. Hey, Chad, you brought up a good point. Where did that large, dark figure go that I just had my finger up here pointing at a minute ago? Huh? Hey, Catherine, I did research who owned my property. I don't know if you watch every video we make, but we have confirmed a lot about well, more than one death. I mean, the house was built in 1903. It's been there for 117 years. We know of potentially up to 4 deaths that have occurred in that house. Oh, it's crazy. Then we've found the Civil War artifacts out in the fields while we're planting trees. Okay, Ethan Hodge said he was watching our potential Bigfoot Sasquatch back here and it looked like it ducked to the left. So guys, we have something back there that's either coming home to live in this bus. Some people say that they're nocturnal. It's still morning here. Well, it's almost noon, but somebody's either coming home or leaving to go out. No, Gary, that's on private property. This is about as close as I can get. OC's saying behind me. Are you guys seeing any movement? Well, I'm about out of time because I do have another appointment I've got to get to. We were here for a little more than 20 minutes. I want to thank each and every one of you who were here with me on this very impromptu live feed. Thanks, Barbara. You see it again, Chad? By the white tree. Okay. Guys, I do think I need to get out of here because I think a skunk has moved in on me. We have skunks in this area. I haven't smelled one for a while. I wasn't sure if they hibernated or not, but I smell one right now. I don't want to scare a skunk and get sprayed. So I'm going to go ahead and head out of here. A lot of folks are saying they saw something back there at that bus, so we may have captured one of the hiding spots of him, her, it, or they. But I think I've discovered a skunk den because I smell something that reeks. It wasn't here a minute ago, so I'm going to get out of here before I get sprayed. Hey, Kitty, welcome to your first live. Glad you caught us. Get out of here before I get sprayed by a skunk. But as I go, I'm going to walk, but I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to shut the camera off as I get closer to the road. So this way, let's see if we're followed out of here. Dana, did you just see it? My 3 o'clock. The birds just stopped singing. Holy cow. You guys know about the X's, right? I just found our parting shot. This is huge. It looks small, but let me tell you how far away that is. That's a good 30 yards away. The crosshairs of this X are 20 to 25 feet off the ground. That may be the biggest X I have ever seen in any of my field research studies. Even the last bird that was singing occasionally has stopped. Time to go. Not just because I'm going to be late if I don't, but I walked right by that ginormous X on the way in here and didn't even see it. That skunk smells like it's getting closer. The birds have stopped. People are seeing movement behind me and by the bus. We may have accidentally stumbled upon a hot spot here, guys. I don't know when, but I do think I will be coming back. So thanks for being here with me. We'll catch you next time for more on the potential Bigfoot Sasquatch show. Almost fell on the ice. Here on Homesteading Off the Grid on YouTube, on Google, on the internet, on planet Earth, in the solar system, our solar system, big part of the Milky Way galaxy, which is one big part of the universe, of which we all play roles, though small, very important, in my opinion, equally important. See you next time.